was ignored with cultural sensitivity. How that happened? Aid was only given to only for use for the purpose of developing the markets, and as a result, when markets were made free, suddenly the Russian Federation collapsed. These are the examples of high growth countries which are revolutions on free speech through these laws, and but they are still at a high growth path. Legal laws are, most nations have this, and speech which denigrates another's reputation comes under the legal law. Obscene Publication Act, England, Egypt, India, Japan, Korea, Mexico, and these few other countries have this act. It is related to the material that tends to deprave and corrupt persons, but still they are growing. Singapore has recently implemented a licensing scheme for all the internet operators. Subversive information. Italy, England, Scotland, and Vietnam have this act, and groups that advocate anti-government violence through utilization of online sources has been seized by the government of these countries. Germany, to discuss fascism and to issue denials of Holocaust is a crime under the German penal code. But as you know, Germany is a high growth and highly stable country. So on Facebook or on Twitter, you are not allowed to send messages related to denials of Holocaust. European Union has a Privacy Protection Act. European Union decided to regulate the flow of information about individuals to prevent corporate intrusion upon individual privacy. They have agreed to obstruct the export of personal data that do not establish adequate privacy protection. In US, we have the Communication Decency Act. Supreme Court has identified varieties of vulnerable expression called low-value speech, and this is regulated. But still, both the countries have a highly developed economies.
Thank you, Manu. So what I'm going to do is a comparison between United States and China to show the lack of correlation between growth, freedom of press rank, and also markets. So as you might know, China is a well-known country for both growth rates and also censorship and regulated markets. So as you can see here on the graph, the annual growth rate of China is 11% in the last 10 years compared with the United States, which is 3%. That is relevant comparing with the rank of the freedom of press in both countries, in which China is ranked in the number 174 and the United States in the number 47. So that shows you the lack of correlation between growth and freedom of press rank. Here on the graph, we also have a comparison between the real GDP growth in both countries, in which we have in red China and in blue United States. So that shows you the consistently superior real GDP growth over the past 30 years and also projection of the next 15 years, in which it's relevant. In the last 10 years, you can see the real GDP growth in China, it's more than double than in the United States. And here, doing a comparison in how open markets are, we know China is a regulated market, but in both import and export of merchandise and commercial service are ranked in top 5 in the world, the same as the United States, that is almost in the first one, in both import and exports. But as a percentage of GDP, we see that China has export and imports almost double of the data of the United States. And that's for a regulated market, it's too much. So now Caitlin is going to give us the conclusions.
Okay, so we have shown that both theoretically and statistically, free speech is not necessarily needed for open markets or for growth. We've shown you numerous examples displaying this and showing the lack of correlation. So we're very confident in our conclusion. Thank you.